Welcome back to Juice is the New Tea. I am your host, Eleni. This is the podcast where we dive into the spiritual, the intuitive, and the tarot. So if you've been following me or listening to this show for some time, you guys know that I am particularly obsessed with astrology. I love pulling cards from my angel deck. I have a moon deck. I have a tarot deck, all of the things. So I wanted to expand on that a little bit. It is an interest of mine. It is something that I believe in, and it is something that I personally practice day to day. So when I come across another witchy kind of goddess that's also in the same realm of spirituality and beliefs as me, I need to have a conversation with them. So that's today's episode. We are joined by a medium. She's a tarot reader. Her name is Julissa, and she has over 160,000 followers on Instagram and a YouTube channel called Julissa's Messages with over 150,000 subscribers. She shares uploads on readings for each of the signs, a collective reading, energy for the month. So I wanted to have a conversation with her to learn a little bit more about that. So let's get into it with Julissa. Welcome, Julissa. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the look. I love the nails. I love the tattoos on the hands, honey. I'm into it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to have this conversation with you today. I was saying before to Stevan, I was like, whenever I come across another fellow spiritual girly who is all about pulling her cards, all about just channeling the divine, connecting with the energy, those are my people. Like, we need to stick together, the divine feminine goddess energy. Like, we need to expand, have conversations, build upon the power. So I'm very excited to like not only have you here, but to also be recently connected with you too.
Right.
Shout out to Xylena
Shout out to Selena.
Yeah.
Yes.
So so I want to jump right into it.
Okay.
So I already mentioned your YouTube channel that you share, all of your sharings and everything on Instagram, on social. And I want to get into a little bit more about how you started that. So like, firstly, connecting to your intuition, right? Connecting to psychic abilities. And, you know, if you feel comfortable sharing a little bit more about that, like what was the first experience for you? Because I remember when I had a first almost like intuitive download, I remember what that felt like. I remember what it even felt like when I knew that it was true. So I want to, learn a little bit more about how you kind of tapped into your intuition and like expanded upon psychic abilities for yourself.
I mean, like, it was always there. I just never knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always had that inner feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it was after I had like a near-death experience. I was like 9 or 10 and I almost passed. And so thankfully I made it.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I started experiencing a lot of paranormal activity.
Mm-hmm.
I would see spirits. I would see different things that were just not explainable at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, okay, maybe I'm like weird or something. You know, like,
You're like, what
maybe
is
I'm not
happening?
gonna tell people.
Yeah.
You know. So those things would happen, and then there was a time, I feel like this is when it would hit as far as intuition goes, where I was looking through an album, and it was in regards to like my grandmother and my grandfather, their upcoming, I guess, them building the family, and I started seeing stories within the picture.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, so my grandfather, he was so sweet. My grandmother, the sweetest, you know? And so my understanding of them was just like, they're these sweet people and they're so nice. But when I was looking at these images, I started seeing beatings. I started seeing like,
Whoa.
like scars. I started seeing like kind of like a movie.
And you were
play
9
out.
seeing these
like
images
9, 10.
as you're looking at these still shots.
Still
How were you
shots.
seeing it in your mind? Like
It wasn't like a movie visual. It was more like a gut feeling. Like I felt the hits. Like I felt the pain behind the pictures.
Whoa.
Which led me to ask certain questions.
Right.
That I didn't get answers to right away. But as I grew up, I started hearing like tales, stories, and I'm like, oh, it takes me back to that moment where I was like, I knew that at that time. I just couldn't prove that.
So when you were first seeing these photos and like experiencing these images in your head, you didn't go to anybody at that time when you were young for confirmation. You just kind of like felt that, had that experience. You're like, okay, whoa, that's weird. Maybe feeling a little like embarrassed and not sharing that. And then as you got older, you were able to then confirm?
I wanted to be in denial. I didn't want to believe that, like this is my grandfather would pull my ears, pull my nose, play with me. Like I didn't want to see him as a woman abuser. I didn't want to like, I guess have that image of him in my mind, but it was there. It was something I couldn't deny.
Yeah.
But I guess it stayed in the back of my mind. So as I heard the stories and I seen certain things, it like all pieced together. So I feel like that would be my first time where I had like an intuitive hit and I felt like, okay, I could read certain things that I don't understand.
Okay. And then tell me about the near-death experience.
So I was around 9, 10, and I started...
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I started having like these extreme health issues and I couldn't walk. I was vomiting. It was bad. It was for like a couple of weeks. And my mom, they weren't really... My family isn't really about the hospital or going to the clinic or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the last resort was the hospital, but it got to the point where it was so severe. I was in so much pain. And by the time I got to the hospital, they had me there for a few hours and they were like, okay, no, her appendix is exploding like right now. So literally what the doctor told me is that as they opened me up, I like exploded. So they were able to catch it in the nick of time, but they weren't sure whether I was going to survive that or not. So when I woke up with tubes down my throat. I was in the hospital for over a month.
So
like they had to like
traumatizing.
clean me out. Yeah. And then after that, I just started seeing a bunch of stuff and experiencing a bunch of...
That's so interesting because I feel like a lot of people that are openly sharing or openly like mediums, they've experienced a near-death experience, and it was also around the same age group of like 9 and 10.
Really?
Yeah, that's like not the first time I've heard that. So that's really interesting. I never had, to my remembrance, I feel like unfortunately I blocked out most of my childhood. I don't really remember a lot of it.
Same.
But for me, the downloads, it just is like an inner knowing. It's just this like unexplainable vision or just something that like kind of plops in. I'm like, okay, I know that was not mine. Why would I know that information? And I feel it also like in my gut. I feel it in my stomach. It's like just an undeniable kind of feeling. But for me, like I don't publicly share certain things that I think and feel. I've talked about it with close friends. How did you get the courage to like share and start posting on YouTube, like all of that? I know that's, yeah. How did you trust what you were thinking and feeling as like fact enough to share it with the world and like build a following about it?
So going back to 9, 10, I started recognizing I had some sort of ability. Around that time, I also started seeing spirits. And I would tell people, and then they were like, girl, stop it. Stop making stuff up. You're just looking for attention. I'm like, oh, okay. So I stopped saying it until like I saw this one individual, this one spirit, which apparently killed himself in the building that we were living in. So when I told my grandmother about it, she like started praying. She grabbed her rosary. She started crying. And in that moment, I got my validation. I got my confirmation. I'm not crazy, because that's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm just bugging. I'm just crazy. And everybody, is looking at me as this weirdo. But so going to the YouTube and putting myself out there, that took a lot of courage.
Yeah.
It took a lot of courage. During that time, I was going through a major depression due to a betrayal, and I was just looking for an outlet to heal. I wasn't looking to actually do readings on YouTube. I didn't even know that existed. So I was using YouTube for meditation music to ground. And I was escaping from reality at that point. I was in a really, really dark place. So one day I'm like meditating on the floor, listening to my music per the usual. And the next thing that popped up, because it goes to the next video, was a pick a card reading. And I remember like it was yesterday and I was like, what is this? I was just so annoyed because it took my music off.
It took you out of your flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, pick a card, pal, one, what?
I was like, do you see what I'm trying to do here?
Yeah,
like,
I'm trying to astral travel.
Right. I'm trying to escape. I don't want to be here right now. And I was like, her voice was very soothing, and the topic just kind of connected with what I was trying to heal at the moment. And so I just picked up my phone, I gave it a look, and I was like intrigued. I was like, okay, I've done readings before. Like I come from a long lineage of like readers and practitioners, so it wasn't new to me, but to see it on YouTube was like, they do this?
Yeah.
and it just sparked something inside
When
of
was
me.
this? How many years ago?
This must have been 2020.
Yeah. Okay. I feel
Yeah.
like also too, that was around the time 2019, 2020, where
Yeah.
I started to like dive into that a little bit more myself. So it's interesting because I feel like that was such a turning point for so many people.
It was a timeline.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was.
yeah.
It was.
100%. And I feel like you either went one way or you went another way. And that was like a split. That was a timeline split for a lot of people. And where if you had gifts or you had like inklings where you had, okay, like I feel like, or I see this, or I'm kind of, got like vibing over here. That was like when you took the jump to be like, okay, I'm fully, expanding upon this gift or these thoughts or these things that are taking me in this direction. And, you gained a whole new community around that time.
And around that time, we were forced to sit down.
Yes.
We were forced to sit with ourselves.
Totally.
Especially being from New York, like we're always, let's get it, let's go. Like
Yep.
we got to do this, we got to do that. We're so busy, we're so distracted that we don't really have a moment to sit with ourselves, to ground. And so I feel like a lot of people woke up around that time.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, like you said, were forced to not only just sit, but like sit with themselves.
Right. That's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like everything that was coming up, your thoughts, things not being in alignment with you, whether that was relationship, where you were going career-wise, all of that just kind of changed for a lot of people. So yeah, so it was around that time so that you were laying on the floor, you heard the pick a reading, pick a card reading, and like, did you pick a card? Did you end up like doing it and you're like, oh, the message is for me?
Oh my God, it hit. It was spot on. I still watch it to this day.
Yeah.
I love her. Her name was
Yeah.
Shanada.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't chop that. But I still watch it to this day. It was to the T, and it like blew my mind. It was like one of those like mind-blowing moments. And I was like, hold on. My tia, my aunt, she would always tell me, one day you're going to read for a lot of people and you're going to have this
She's a
expansive
psychic too.
life. Right.
Yeah.
I would go to her for readings.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that moment, I just felt intrigued, inspired. I was like, I could do this. It looks so fun. Like, why not? And I tried it.
Yeah.
And it popped off.
Bless.
Yes.
Just like it was like you had no intention. You just filmed yourself.
Well, I actually filmed a table because I'm really shy.
Okay.
Yeah, it
As
took
you're
me
sitting
years.
here on a podcast right now with lights and
Right.
microphone. You're
This
here,
is
honey. Stop
5
saying you're
years
shy.
in.
Yeah. Okay, so you just had no expectation. You just filmed hands on a table, pulling, shuffling, and then just took off.
It took off
Okay.
like overnight.
So how did you first, was your first like YouTube video with tarot or with like another deck, or how did you like get into using the cards like for yourself? I know that you came across that YouTube video, but.
So growing up, my family would use Espanola cards. They look very different. They're not like tarot cards.
I've never heard of those.
Yeah, they're actually they come from Italy, I believe.
Okay.
The Espanola cards, they
Okay.
originate from Italy. They look very different. The art, the cards, the readings are very different. It's a full-on reading. It's not like you're just pulling 3 or 4 cards. You're pulling the whole deck, and you have to just like basically read the book in a sense. And so I tried with those cards. It just didn't call me. Like I didn't feel connected. And so I saw that the girl I was watching was using tarot. I was like, oh, maybe those cards will call me. So I bought a deck. I bought a book. I started getting into it. Learning the history of tarot, where it comes from, what the cards mean. And then I also used my intuition pulling cards, and it just so happened to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I bought my first deck, it was an angel deck. Because for me personally, I don't use tarot often. I feel like that I would want to go to somebody specifically for. I have a very serious relationship with my angel decks and my goddess decks and my moon deck. And like I have a stack of,
I
all
love
of my,
oracles.
yeah. Like it's just, there is something where it's like, I trust myself, I trust my intuition, but sometimes just like leaning in on something else, whether it's, just like the spirit messages or just, I don't know, there's something comforting for me at least about it. And it's just like, there's something, special.
I usually never do a reading without my oracles. Like I like to combine it. It's like coffee with milk. It just goes together
Yeah.
perfectly for me.
I like
Maybe
it.
not for all.
I like it. So we got into a little bit about how you started feeling comfortable sharing, but I want to talk about specifically how you communicate with spirit directly, or how would you kind of frame that, the downloads that you receive? Would you refer to it as spirit? Because I know a lot of different people that work with tarot, mediums, psychics, they reference it in a little bit of a different way. So I want to learn a little bit about like how you choose to communicate with it or how it comes through for you.
Well, I feel like I have a connection. Well, before I start, I say I connect with the Holy Spirit, Yamaya, and the Most High. That's my connection. And so when connecting, I do a prayer. I go into meditation. I make sure that I tap in with my guides, who I resonate with first. And once I feel connected, it's like an energy. Like it could be cold outside. It could be cold in my apartment. And as soon as I connect, I feel so hot. Like at the beach, 90 degrees weather.
Yeah.
And that's how
there's
I
a
know.
warmth that takes over. I understand that.
Yeah. So it's just like a feeling. And I'm like, okay, we're connected.
Like the portal's open.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. Okay, I love that. We talked a little bit about this. Are there specific moments for you where you feel like the veil between worlds are thinner than other times?
Specific times, I wouldn't say specific times that it is thinner than others. I feel like it's getting really thin now as a collective, as we're rising.
Yeah.
But for me, it would just be random.
Yeah.
And it's an experience that you can't really explain, but I never had control, or it was never like, oh, it happens around October or it happens in December. Like, it's just super random.
For anybody listening, because I do believe that we all have psychic, intuitive abilities. It's just whether or not you choose to build on them, and also like how clear you keep your vessel, like how often you just speak out loud to your angels, how often you sit in meditation, how often you pray. For anybody listening who wants to kind of dabble in this work themselves a little bit, or like build upon their own magic and power, are there any like practices or rituals that you personally do or that you would want to share to help people connect a little bit more with the other side, or connect with their spirit team or their loved ones maybe on the other side?
I feel like that's a very tricky question for me, at least, because I have so many thoughts around that. And you want to be very careful when you're connecting, because there are so many different energies and you don't know who you're, like the Ouija board or whatever.
Ouija board,
Ouija board.
Luigi. Yeah, the Ouija board, yeah.
People tell you don't go there because you don't know who you're going to connect with. And it's kind of the same when connecting with any type of medium tool or any tool, I would say. That's a very tricky question.
Would you say, though, that intention behind like your desire to connect matters too? Because I think for me, like if you have the intention that's rooted clearly and that is pure, and if you believe that overall things are good. I do know, of course, there's like dark energy and there's things like that. But I had a girlfriend come to me recently who was just expressing to me that she wants to get her aura cleaned. And she just feels like she needs to do a cleanse, an energetic cleanse. And I do believe that there is absolutely a necessity for that. I was telling her that you don't even necessarily need to go to somebody. You can go sit in a sauna and sweat, and that could be cleansing to your aura. You can, go outside, go on a walk, like connect with your daughter, like do these things, like
Exercise.
like just like move your body, get the energy flowing, like move your lymphatic system, that can help to cleanse and clear your aura. Because I know that I've had these thoughts too in the past, in also like a very dark and like emotionally charged time where I felt like there was just like an evil eye on me, like I have my aunts in Greece and I had them, they mix the oil in the water and it turns out I had 3 evil eyes on me and they clear that shit right up. But I also believe strongly that like energy goes where attention flows. If you, things only have power over you if you believe them to, or let them have power over you. So yeah, I don't know if there's something.
I do believe that too. If you believe in something, you give it power. But there is a lot of things that are unexplainable, like things I've seen, things I've witnessed. And so when it comes to like cleansing, prayer is very important. I mean, you got to get right with someone, whether that be the Most High, the divine, God, whoever, one may resonate with. That relationship needs to be strong and your faith needs to be strong. And that's like the first step to any connection with the divine. I feel like you have to be a true believer. And as far as like, we were talking about cleansing.
Yeah.
I would say elements work well, like the rivers, the sun, the air. Like that's really how you're gonna like cleanse your aura.
Yeah, write some shit down and burn it.
Yeah, write some
set
shit
it
down,
on fire
burn it.
or plant it.
I've done
plant
that
it
before.
Yeah, who hasn't? I have a cauldron, man. Like I, put it.
Charge your water.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I mean, I feel like we should talk a little bit more about that because maybe somebody listening wants to learn a little bit more. I mean, like full moon rituals that you might do or new moon rituals. Like the new moon, obviously you work with setting your intentions with the new moon. And that's a powerful time to write something and like plant the seed. So I have literally gone to a park, to a forest and planted my letter in the dirt. Yes, I have done that. And I honestly will say, yeah. And I feel like I took a picture of what I wrote. And I bet you, and this was like maybe 4 years ago, I bet you like at least 3 or 4 things from that list have come true.
Really?
Yeah, because I do feel like in the last year, being more in my purpose, I've attracted so many blessings and so many, because you
got to be in alignment.
Yeah,
too.
you also like you have a mission too. Like we're here. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have a mission, if we didn't have some type of purpose that was driving us every single day. And I owe a lot of that to the practices that I've remained consistent to. Like if I'm feeling really heavy about something and I know there's a full moon approaching, I'll always check in with the energies, what's happening, what's going on in the stars, the moons, everything. And I write it down and I'll burn it. Like, I don't want this. Let me, if I go to a sauna and I sweat out, I visualize like every sweat bead is some part of the story that I need to let go of.
Visualization is key. I mean, that's what I practice. So like my cleansings are with showers. I'm envisioning that shower coming down like sparkling lights from above. The baths, those are my cleanses. I'm envisioning myself in a tea, and I'm marinating and I'm soaking in all of those elements and then I'm letting it wash away. Those are my cleanses.
Yeah. I speak into my water.
I speak into my water too.
Yes, water is the highest like vibrational. It absorbs, right? Think of it. Water, if you pour it into a cup, it takes the shape of the cup. It takes the shape of wherever it is. So if you speak into it, if you put your hands over your water and you just speak love, blessings, health, whatever it is that you want to call in, magic, love, anything, the water takes that shape. The water takes the form. And I feel like you are cleansing your body with that.
I agree.
I don't care how woo-woo that is. I agree with that. That is exactly like that is,
I've seen people put an image underneath a glass of water and then take the image away and put it in the freezer. And then you look at it as it's frozen and it has like an image in it similar to the image it was there before. So they say water records. Okay. It has its own memory. Water's powerful.
I also read something that I was going to try, taking cinnamon, like a jar of cinnamon and sugar, all the sweetness of life, and putting a list of your manifestations in the jar, in the cinnamon and sugar jar, and like letting that sweetness take over your dreams. And I'm like, I got to do that. Like, why not,
And there's people that take cinnamon and they blow it into their apartments or homes at the beginning of the month or the new moon.
That is me.
To attract the abundance. Yes. So I believe in all that.
And I feel like, again, like maybe if you're doing it and you don't believe in it, it's not going to work.
No, you got to believe.
Exactly.
That's the first key.
Exactly. To see it, you got to believe it, honey.
Right.
Manifestation 101. So I mean, we kind of just touched on some like personal practices or rituals. Any other practices or rituals that you want to share with us that you do, like sprinkle a little extra abundance on us?
Well, I like to have salt on every corner of my home.
Salt in every corner of your home.
Salt in every corner of my home to keep negative energy out my house.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have not heard that, and I am doing that tonight after I go get a margarita.
Even the corners in your closet, salt in every corner.
Well, I know that you're always supposed to sweep. Like, I mean, you're supposed to sweep and keep your house clean, but Yeah, like especially the corners. Like every day you should sweep the corners, but you keep salt to like protective.
I renew it, of course.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
I
after
like
a few
that.
weeks, because you're gonna sweep mop. It
Yeah.
like dilutes, But yeah, salt in every corner.
Do we have to be specific? Is it pink Himalayan salt? Is it Celtic sea salt? Does it matter?
I think any type of salt would do. Yeah,
Oh,
as
I'm
long as it's
definitely
real
doing
salt,
that.
though.
Okay, no, yeah, real salt for
Real
sure.
salt.
Yeah. Wait, so in the corner, even in your closets?
Even in the closet, it's so tedious. But yes.
Oh, what else
Every
do you
corner.
do? Tell me, because I love this shit.
That's
I never
pretty
heard
much
that.
it.
So that's like to blow my mind is rare occurrence these days. So thank you first.
Yes,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's a must. That's a must
All
for
right,
me.
need that.
I used to be into the crystals and I used to be into the sage and just smudging. And I feel like we have graduated from that.
Yeah, we
At
talked
least
about
I have,
yeah. We've
So
elevated.
We've elevated.
Yeah.
We've evolved.
We still want to do those practices, but there's so much more to do.
We don't want to rely on the crystals
Right.
and the smudging.
Right.
That's how I feel because my house is full of crystals. My house is still full of incense and sage and everything, and I still use it. For me, it's like nostalgic now.
Yeah.
But
It
I don't
reminds me of like when
rely on
I
it.
first came across this whole world. I was like, I still have my first crystal that I ever got. Like those are little like mementos of, the clean eating chick when she was first becoming.
It's like, what? Sage it?
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
Yeah. So what else? Salt in the corners. We've
Salt in the
graduated
corners.
from, yeah.
So what I've graduated to is using anointment oils. So I get holy oil.
Okay.
And what I usually do in the mornings, and I also do this before bed, I just rub my hands, I say my prayer, and I just like sweep away whatever's on me because it's all energetic.
Yes.
And even when I'm going to start filming or connect with my clients, I'm rubbing my hands and I'm cleansing the door. Getting energy away that doesn't need to be there in the moment, any low vibrational energy, opening up the portals, protecting my environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to visualization, I shower every night before I get into bed. And I literally visualize washing the day off of me. Like, of course, it's a physical thing, but like just energetically. Because when you meet, you have an exchange with people, like you're absorbing that energy. You have to take some time at the end of each day to call your power back, to call your energy back.
That too. And even if you're home all day, like, let's be honest, a lot of people are home all day. They're like,
True.
I don't have to like cleanse my energy or do anything because I didn't connect with anybody today.
Yeah.
Are you online?
Yeah. No.
Are people seeing your pictures and videos?
100,000%. I love that you just took the conversation here because so many people don't realize that social media is an energetic exchange.
Absolutely.
People do not.
And you don't know who's watching you.
You don't know who's watching you, but also too, like even just the content that you're consuming and what you're giving, it's like you have to, there's a serious cord cutting that the collective has to do, I feel like, with the social media, just what we're retaining from that.
Yeah.
And the energy that people are watching your things, like what the energy that they're even projecting onto you.
Right, because it could just be like, well, my page is private. I only have my friends and my family members. But you don't know where their minds are at. Right. You don't know what their true intentions are. So we just never know. You just rather be safe than sorry.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I take that back into a little bit like not related, but I take that even to the importance of like eating a home cooked meal. Because so many people order in like it's nothing, like it's so mindless. People's relationship to what they choose to nourish their body with is so disconnected that like you have to think about the energy of the people that are preparing your food and the energy that they're infusing in your food.
And then you don't even know what they're putting in the food.
That, of course, like the kind of oil, the salt, all of that. Like, and then like the sanitary things, like there's so many levels to that. But energetically speaking, like if I'm pissed off all day and I'm cooking your meals and I'm, you know what I mean? Like that energy exchange that people don't even realize. That's why I just stress so much. Like when you're cooking and you have good music on and you're dancing and you're moving your hips and you're just like vibing with the food that you're creating, like that is a love that you're pouring into. Even if you're maybe not eating the most healthy, but you're cooking it yourself, there is still something to be said about that. Keep the meals healthy, but like there is something to be said about the energy that you infuse like in everything that you do and just being so mindful of that.
I agree with you.
I love that. So let's talk a little bit about how you stay grounded doing the work that you do, because share a little bit about like the workflow for you. Like, what is a typical day like for you doing readings? And because I know you, like when we first connect, you're like, I'm a night owl, like I'm up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to me about like a little bit of your workflow and how you stay grounded, because like you are giving a lot of energy and you're receiving a lot, even if you're not meeting with people in person.
I feel like even like being online, that right there in itself is like I'm giving an immense amount of energy, because even though I'm not connecting directly with all these people,
Yeah.
they're all like responding to me, DMing me, coming back to
They
me
need
with
something from you,
an inquiry. They
yeah.
have a question. They have, oh my God, we need to talk about this. It could be exhausting. It could be very taxing. So what I do at the end of the night, so typically like by 11 o'clock, which is late, but by 11 o'clock, shut down. I'm putting the phone away. I'm in my bed. I'm just sitting there with my thoughts, and I'm just meditating. And that's like how I ground. Sometimes I'll take it to the floor. I need a little bit of wood. I resonate with wood, being very grounding. And that's my practice every day. But a typical day for me is it's pretty spontaneous. It could be here or there, but I try to start my days after 10 a.m. I give myself the window between 9 and 10 for myself. No social media, no phone calls, no text messages. I want to be in control of how this day is going to start.
Yeah.
You know? Because I've noticed a lot of the time when you wake up and you go for that phone, someone's in a bad mood, they're texting you, it's a projection. There goes your whole day. There goes your whole day.
Your energy is wiped. You're thinking about them and their problem, and it's a whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just gets, it's like a trickle, like a domino effect. Yeah. So I feel like it's really important, at least for me, it's really important for me to have that hour window. And when someone disturbs that hour window, it's like you meet the dragon. People know. Do not wake me up. Do not disturb me. I have a program and I need to follow it. That's how I stay grounded.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
And then like typically, how do you work with people for those that don't know?
So I connect with people via email or, well, through my Etsy shop.
Yeah.
And so they'll request a reading with me. I ask them for the questions or the topic. Sometimes they just want to talk about career, or they'll have specific questions. And so they'll send that over to me. I ask for an email, and then I record that on my own time. So I channel in, I open up the channel, I'll connect with my guides, and then I'll ask the specific questions, or I'll ask about that area in their life. I'll get all the answers. I'll audio record it like a voice note, and then I'll email that over to them.
Yeah. Interesting, because I've only worked with one person in the past that did pre-recorded work, and it was like it was like Reiki. It was like a it was like a distant Reiki distance. I'm not saying it correctly, but yeah, it was like a session like that, and she sent it to me. But I do appreciate and respect that you do like record your stuff beforehand for people, as opposed to, because I mean, I could imagine that like if you're giving someone a reading, because I know when I've had readings with my medium and she retired,
I got all the questions.
I think maybe because of me, yeah, like I am like, wait, what? Huh? Explain that again one more time, and then it'll be a tangent, like all that. So I imagine for, you know, that kind of work, for any work, obviously, there's, you know, could be like a little taxing, or, and you also want to stay like connected to the message that it is that you're trying to get through.
Right.
Yeah.
What I've noticed with my beautiful clients is that when I would get on the phone with them, because I've done it here and there, I tried it just to see, like, test the waters, if it's something that I'll be open to, because a lot of people do request the Zoom calls, the phone calls. And for my experience, a 10-minute phone call turns into 30 minutes because it's no longer about the reading. Now it's a conversation. Now we're like homegirls and we're going back and forth, which I don't mind. I think it's beautiful. But then I have other clients I need to see. So it really holds me back from doing everything I can do. So I think recordings are best for me.
Yeah. And I think we talked briefly once about like maintaining a space for people to actually do the work, like outside of consulting with you for readings, that it could easily turn into like a therapy session, and just maintaining that boundary for yourself is also just like really important for you, like professionally.
Yeah, it is a boundary.
Like, how do you keep that boundary in place with people?
Well, it's hard to book with me.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So
Yeah.
they have to
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
like wait a little bit. And I feel like that's good though. Like,
Yeah.
not that I don't want to connect with my clients on a
Well,
daily
you should like
basis.
not be super accessible, right? Just like not
Right.
even in work, just like in general in life, you know?
In
They gotta
life,
like reach a certain
yes.
level.
Right. Well, I feel like the boundary, right? We were
Yeah.
talking about the boundary. I feel like that I kind of got lost with that one. I'm sorry.
No, it's
You made
okay.
me laugh.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lost it.
You're good. No, yeah. So just like, how do you keep the boundaries in place of like not having it become a therapy session?
Well, I try to like explain what's going on. So, like, for example, if someone's coming to me about a relationship with their mother and they're not understanding why the mother is acting a certain way and they're trying to resolve or find some sort of solution, I dive really deep. And that's why I also like to record, because I'm looking into mom, what's to be expected, what happened, how did we get here, you know? So there's so much information that's provided that brings clarity. And I feel like a lot of the times my clients don't want to come immediately back to me. Some of them do though, I'm not gonna lie. It's because I fed them so much information that they need time to really process that.
Yes.
You know, you should have that moment where you're marinating with that information, like this is newfound information. All right, now we can have newfound perspective on this matter.
Totally.
You know?
I agree with that, because I feel like two things I want to say about that. One is that from my experience with readings that I've had, they're not talking about any specific time frame. It could not even be this timeline that they're referring to. Like, they're saying certain things and whatever's resonating with me, like I still have to do the work to get to that point, right? Then secondly, I hope I remember the second point I was going to make. Was that I don't remember it. It'll come to me though. So yeah, like jumping to the timeline, and then that, I forgot. Shit. It's all right.
But with timelines and my clients,
Yeah.
I specifically tell them, if
I
you
remember my point.
alter anything, like you're getting
Free
this
will.
prediction, there's free will. You could do something. You can make a change. You could decide, you know what? I don't like that. So I'm going to do something else, 'cause pivot, right? Just know that the outcome can change.
Yeah. I remember what I was
Nothing's
going to
fixed.
say. No, for sure. So also too, like when I got my yoga teacher certification in Bali,
Ooh.
it was 3 weeks. Yeah. It was an incredible experience.
That's hot.
It really was. And I took a vow of silence every morning for 3 weeks. We would practice yoga and breath work for 3 hours before the sun came up, and then after at 9 a.m. And then we took a vow of silence, no speaking, no eye contact, no reading, no writing for 3 hours after our practice. And this was so interesting for so many reasons, because the concept, the idea was to keep your prana, your energy, your life force energy that you just cultivated during your practice, during the yoga, during the breath work, to keep that energy circulating in your body. Any downloads that you experienced during your yoga, during your meditation, during your breath work were messages for you, not meant to be shared with someone else. Because when you have a really good download in Shavasana with a girlfriend, as soon as you're out of that meditation, you run and you tell her, oh my God, like that is not meant for your girl. That is meant for you. Process and keep that emotion that like you haven't even made sense of that download. You haven't even made sense of why you had that vision in that meditation. Like, I've attributed that small practice that was really uncomfortable for me for the first like couple of days I was in Bali. I've attributed that to so many different aspects of my life, because if I have like an aha moment, or I experience a synchronicity, or I see a sign, I don't run to tell somebody. I keep that for myself. Eventually, if it still is like prominent where I'm like, holy shit, I got to tell so-and-so like what happened. But it's so powerful to keep some of those instances, those experiences for yourself.
Those little notes.
Yeah, those little nuggets from the universe. Yeah,
I do it all the time. And so when I'm getting downloads, let's say warnings about a situation that's going to happen or I should be aware of, I don't tell anyone. I let it gather and gather, like an investigation in a sense. I let it gather and gather. I let it continue connecting where it's so loud I can't avoid it. And then I address, or then I share something with someone.
So you come with like receipts,
like,
plural.
hold on, this happened, that happened.
Damn,
I
gotta
knew that.
Yeah.
I love collecting data.
I feel like I've gotten better with doing that as I've gotten older and wiser.
It takes a lot of patience. Because
back in the day, as soon as I would see something, I would like attack. I would be like, I saw this. What did you do? You know, but
I
now
was
I'm
the
like, I
same.
just let it kind of, stack up a little bit. And all right, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to shift gears a little bit, and I want to do a little energy reading for the collective. I want you to channel some of your good energy. And since we don't have too much time, I want to do a reading for air signs, a reading for water signs, for fire and earth signs. So maybe give them a little bit of a general what they can expect for the month of April.
Nice.
Although remember that this message is timeless and it will find you
Timeless.
exactly when it is that you need to. It doesn't need to be for this current moment. But yeah, so if you want to just give us
let's do
a
it.
little taste of your magic and your energy.
Yes.
I love when people shuffle.
Oh,
I
everyone
love when
says
you
that.
shuffle. No, because I've listened to your messages for my sign, and they're always spot on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they always.
love
I'm like,
hearing
how does she know
that?
that? I'm like, she knows. She knows me, and I'm also low key dying to know what sign you are, but don't tell me.
Yeah, I actually posted something about that today.
Okay,
because
I didn't watch your story.
I keep getting inquiries about that.
I like that you
and-
don't really share it.
Yeah.
At least I haven't seen you.
I would not share my sun sign, but I have every other sign except for Taurus in my natal chart.
Okay.
So that's fun.
Okay.
So I resonate with like almost everybody except
Okay.
for Taurus. Well, in
that's
that
on
way.
brand for you, the work that you do. You have to embody the energy and just camouflage yourself.
Right.
Oh, I really want to know. I want to guess what sign she is, but I don't want to be wrong because I
Yes,
really
you
don't
should
know.
guess.
I
Yeah, you
really have
know.
not. That's why I haven't asked you because I don't know. Because I've talked to you now so many times. I'm like, I'm dying to know, and I can't figure it out, and it's driving me crazy that I can't figure it out.
I wonder what you think. What are the top threes?
The top
I'll
three.
tell you if you're hot.
I am hot. The top. No, I really honestly I usually am really good at this. I have a couple people
Which
in the studio that
element?
could vouch for me. I mean, I feel a combination of all of them, if I'm being honest.
They're all there.
Yeah.
That's
I
why-
can't, I don't feel like you're purely water and a little bit of fire. I feel like you have a healthy combination
Well, thank
of all of it.
you.
Fuck. And I'm
Thank
looking
you.
directly into your eyes and I still can't get it. It's driving me crazy. Do you know what sign I am?
No.
Do you want to guess? Could
I'll
someone
guess
guess me for once? I feel like it's not obvious.
No, it's not.
Really?
I
All
would.
right.
I don't know. I get green from you, but I wouldn't know if. I don't know because then you're also really good with other things that I could see. It probably is your top three though. I don't know. I guess we're both stuck
I
on the
feel
I
like
don't know.
I mean it's funny that you said you're not there's no Taurus in your chart.
Right. My mom was a Taurus though.
Okay.
So I'm very much connected to Taurus. I love Taurus.
I do. I love
the
Taurus
Taurus.
energy. Shout out
Yeah.
to the Taurus in my life.
Shout
My
out.
mommy was a Taurus
Your
too.
mommy was a Taurus too?
Yeah.
Stop. I love that.
Yeah, they're
Play
the
no
best.
games, right?
Yeah, no, she's the coolest. Yeah. All right, so I think we should start first.
All right, so we're doing air signs first?
Yeah, let's do air signs first. You
Okay.
read my mind.
So we're doing a quick pull for
Yeah.
April. All right. Now I'm really, really hot. I was hot already. And now I'm like really,
it's also
really
just hot in here.
No, now I'm really hot. No, it was like it was
Ooh.
like warm. Now it's like hot. All right.
Oh. Tell us.
Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. All right. So what I did was say, like, at my connection, Holy Spirit, Yamai, the Most High, please come through and help me channel this message for my air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. All right. For the month of April.
Tell us.
What do they need to know?
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what I got. I got Death in Reverse. That was
Oh.
the first one. Scorpio, energy. The Nine of Cups, love to see that. Pisces energy. The King of Wands, Aries. We're gonna do one more. Whoa, okay. They said two more.
Fly out for
The
us.
Star, Aquarius, and the Two of Pentacles, as well as the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, that's a little spread right there.
Tell us the spread.
Hold on.
I'm living for this. I'm living for this.
Okay.
I'm like excited.
So the air signs are going through a massive internal change. They're clearing, they're purging, they're transforming from the inside out. So this is on a cellular level. They're going through that change. And so during this time, they need distance. They need space. Don't bother the air signs because they will snap at you. They will emerge from this metamorphosis beautifully, though. So April is all about the air signs going within and figuring out what's working, what's not working, because it's time to evolve. There's a push. There's going to be a big push. This is going to lead to blessings because when this happens, at least the way it's being shown to me, it seems to be that the air signs as a collective have been praying for something, have been asking for something. And before that blessing or that gift could be offered, they need to be in the right position to receive that, so they don't fumble, so they don't sabotage their blessing. So what's going to happen with the air signs is that they're going to isolate to a degree. All right. Scorpio could be dark and they're going into the Scorpio energy. So they're going to distance themselves to go through this metamorphosis like a caterpillar to a butterfly. And they're going to come out feeling much better, because they're going to see that their outer world is going to start matching what they actually want. So this is a major change. I see them getting a lot of attention, which is very beautiful. And being that they're taking this time to go within and distance themselves, as they come back out, they're coming back out charged up, ready, confident, savvy, cute, charismatic, and they're going to get a lot of attention for that, because it's like, hold up, air signs, where you been, first of all? Second of all, who's this? Like, what's that?
Tell us.
So I see that that's going to lead to multiple opportunities for the air signs, because they already got one thing going on, whether that be career-wise, relationship-wise, and now they're going to have another. And that's where the pot gets a little thick, because they have to choose one or the other. And so that's going to be interesting for April. But nonetheless, you got the 9 of Cups and the Star. These are blessings and wish fulfillment. So air signs, go within, do the freaking work, and don't worry about delays, because it's not about rushing the healing, rushing the transformation. Just go through it. It's going to be ugly. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty on the other side, though. So that's what the air signs are going through in the month of
air signs.
April.
That was your April energy forecast. Okay, love it.
That means cutting cords, too.
Oh, we've been doing a lot of cutting cords, honey. I'm an air sign.
You're an air sign?
Yeah.
I'm an air sign, too.
Are you?
Yeah.
My air
top 3.
sister.
I have 2 air signs in my top 3.
I have 2 water in my top 3.
Really?
Yeah.
The other one is earth for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting a little closer. I still don't know, though. I still don't want to, have no idea. All right. So now we'll do water.
Water?
Okay.
Water. All right.
Water signs.
My water signs. How do you feel about the water signs, being an air sign?
I mean, I'm a Cancer moon and a Cancer rising. It's a lot of energy and emotion up in here, man. It is intense.
I love me a Cancer.
Yeah.
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 Right. Holy Spirit, man, the Most High. What is the message for my water signs for the month of April?
I love when they fly out.
When they fly to the floor, is talking about like hidden matters, like what we don't see.
Oh, I never heard that before.
Yeah. So whenever you're shuffling and you're on the table and they just fall to the floor, it's like a hidden secret, like something that's being hidden, aside from the message that you're getting on the table.
Good to know.
My water signs. Okay. Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Right. So I'm hot now again.
Okay.
My water signs are getting ready to close out a cycle, and they want more out of life, apparently, like we all do, but they're reaching a point in April where it's as if you see how we go through the hibernation in the winter, and in springtime the flowers start to come up.
Yes.
That's what's happening for the water signs. It feels like the water signs have gone through some sort of coldness, difficulty. It seems to be tied with the ego, with pride. And so their pride could have been bruised to a degree by a person, place, or thing. And so my water signs are wrapping that up, whatever that may be, whether that be with career, whether that be with relationship or family. There's something that definitely triggered them to look within and decide what they resonate with. All right, is this what I want? Is this what I want to continue? So there's going to be a lot of chapters closing and chapters beginning for my water signs. There's going to be a specific opportunity for my water signs in April as well. That could be a new relationship. That could be a new project. There's so much energy and support and love flowing towards the water signs in the month of April. There is a need for the water signs not to get full of themselves with all the support and love that's coming in the month of April, because if they allow it to get to their head could get so inflated that they'll fall over and it'll be embarrassing. So we want to just be humble.
Yeah.
But ultimately what they're doing is going to calmer waters. They're leaving hardship. They're overcoming hardship. They've been praying. They've been manifesting big developments in their life, whether that be travel for leisure or that be work or love related. They've been wanting a level up. And so that's what's opening for the water signs in the month of April. Now, the only warning here for my water signs in the month of April is to be mindful. Again, we're closing out doors. We're opening up new doors. So there's going to be a lot of signs, flags raised when it comes to certain people and places. And we need to be mindful to not have a blind eye to those signs, because sometimes we care for a person or we really enjoy a place, and so we have a blind eye, like, you know what, maybe they didn't mean that. You know what, maybe that wasn't exactly what it was. Let me give them another chance. And then you'll just be in the hamster wheel. The idea for April is to be aware of what's being shown to you and be open to closing out what's not serving you and move forward to calmer waters, because the angels are here and they are pushing the water signs to a more stable life and restore their peace where their peace has been disturbed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. My Cancer moon and Cancer rising is
tingling.
Yeah, is excited. She's excited. She's excited. Earth signs next.
Earth.
Shout out to our earth signs.
Yes.
Our Virgos, our Taurus, our Capricorns. Earth signs, man. I love me an earth sign.
I love an earth sign.
Especially a Virgo man. I love me a Virgo man.
Virgos. They're like one of my faves.
I always say that Virgo men make the world go round.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love Virgo women. I haven't really got close to a Virgo man.
I haven't gotten close to a Virgo man either, but there's most of like the innovative men out there in the world, they're Virgo men. And then
I can believe that.
I love me a Taurus man. I do.
I have my own experience with Taurus.
Shout out to Chris and Stevan, our two Taurus men energy behind Juices the New Tea.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
No doubt that they're two Taurus men. And now we have an Aquarius
Taurus
on the team too. Shout out to Jesse, a big air sign energy kid.
I love an Aquarius.
Yes.
I love all the air signs. I love them all.
Yeah.
All right, so earth signs.
All right,
Holy
talk
Spirit,
to us. Dímelo.
What is the message for my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, for the month of April?
Your seat.
Okay. All right. So for my earth signs in the month of April is all about slowing down. This is a time where we want to like sit down with ourselves. We want to take a break. We want to go on vacation. We want to focus on healing. We're doing too much. All right. So what our earth signs are going to recognize in April is like, less is more. Less is more. And taking on too much can end up actually sabotaging our goals or our true plan to execute whatever that may be, a relationship. Or, for example, if it's a relationship, juggling people, not cool. You need to step it up and drop one. All right. Career, taking on too many hours, you're burning out. That's not okay. You need to take a step back and rest so you get your juice back. Don't scatter yourself. So that's just like the warning for my earth signs in the month of April. But what I see here is my earth signs are going to be recognizing, because what I see is status growth, money growth. I see my earth signs being all self-sufficient, looking sophisticated, feeling good about themselves.
Honey.
It's giving a lot of maturity, a lot of healing. So the earth signs are going to want more time to themselves because they're trying to like reprioritize their schedule, reprioritize their relationships, because they're going to feel this strong need to like step it up. And so there's also this aspect of major healing, letting go of bad habits, whether that be over drinking, or smoking, or whether that be maybe enabling some people. It could come off so many different ways.
Wow.
We all could have bad habits. So there's going to be this importance on prioritizing health in the month of April too for the earth signs. But overall, the earth signs are resting, healing, taking a vacation. They're looking good. Their money's right. They're reprioritizing things and maybe a little burnt out because they're doing too much. They're doing way too much.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the earth sign reading.
Okay. Beautiful.
Okay.
I love that.
I love that for them.
Yes.
Yes, because if they're getting to the bag with disorganization, imagine what they could do being organized fully, like having a tight schedule.
Discipline, baby.
Discipline. All right.
Fire.
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 The fire sign.
Yes. Give it for the Aries and the Leos and the Sagittarius, honey.
Oh, yes. I love me a fire
Tell
sign.
us.
All right. Let's see. For the fire signs. I don't know why they look so sad.
Oh.
Like they're overcoming something. Holy Spirit, Yamaya, the Most High, please come through. Help me channel this message for the fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So they're slowing down. I could see that. Yeah, and they're slowing down because there's going to be like an energy block. It's as if they're trying to manifest something in the month of April and it's not formulating the way they would like. So they're going to take a moment to pause and like reassess. Like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this coming in for me? There's this energy of a little bit of turmoil and feeling alone with that. But then I see them getting their spark back. All right, so what's happening for the fire signs in April is that they're being reminded that we don't want to rush into anything, whether that be a new relationship, a new opportunity, or just in general in life. The fire signs have been trying to manifest something apparently, and it hasn't come in or it hasn't been growing as fast as they would like. So there's this lack of faith or there's this doubt. So in the month of April, I feel like the fire signs are getting their mojo back. There's going to be something that lights them up. There's going to be either an exciting event. This could be them going out to have more fun. This could be a trip. There's a need for the fire signs to get back to that childlike energy where they have hyper focused on one thing, whether relationship or career or family, that they've lost a little bit of their momentum. So it's kind of like rewiring in the month of April. I do see them alone with that, but this could be tied to like either financial worries or like a breakup. And there's just a need to slow down because there's lack of perspective. And I feel like the Most High, the divine, is teaching the fire signs a major lesson. We don't want to rush into anything. We want to take our time. Only fools rush is their message. So slowing down for the fire signs. And then they get their spark, which is the good news. There's going to be some sort of good news coming in for them. It could be tied to an organization. It could be tied to commitment. And or it could be tied to family. But there is going to be some good news coming in for them after. And it's going to be towards like the end of April for what I can see. But first they have to go through this slow motion where they're used to running. They got to actually like walk. So that may be a little frustrating, but the end result is a blessing. So yes, that's good.
I love that. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you. I feel like that's going to be hard for the fire signs to slow down.
Right.
Yeah, because that's
They're
not,
always on
they
fire.
are ready to go.
So it's gonna be a little test.
Yeah, no, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, for doing the other deck that you have.
My oracle.
Oh,
You would
okay.
like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't incorporate it. I didn't feel pulled. I just brought it just in case.
All right. So then, yeah. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I
Thank
really
you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I really appreciate you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. I'm grateful for the conversation and the energy shared. I'm gonna go home and put salt in every single corner of my house, and I'm pretty sure everyone else is going to too.
Yes.
But yeah, so tell the people where they could follow you, learn a little bit more about the offerings that you do and your YouTube channel.
Well, to find me, it's pretty easy. You could just Google Julissa's messages, or you could go on IG. It would be JU1IZZA. On YouTube is Julissa's messages. If you want to check out my shop for candles, I do make intention candles, and I also offer readings if anybody's interested. My Etsy shop is Julissa's Manifestation, and yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I really appreciate it. And for everyone listening, thank you so much for giving us your energy. I hope you guys took something away from this episode. Please remember to leave a review, share this episode if it resonated with you or if it would resonate with an air, earth, fire, water sign in your life.
Yes.
And we will see you next episode on Juice is the New Tea. QG Floral is a luxury florist in New York with over 50 years of experience. They even provided us a special discount code you can use, the code CLEANBLOOM, for 10% off website orders over $125. So gift yourselves or your loved ones a beautiful arrangement. Juice is the New Tea is brought to you by Cleanse Juices. For more information on 3-day juice cleanses and 4 flavor packs, visit iamcleanse.com. Use code JUICEISTheNewT for 10% off all orders.